Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well and happy and healthy. And yeah, that is my hope for today. Um, you are at Sow and Tare live chat, 6 p.m. Pacific time every Monday, except for next Monday. It's going to be on Thursday because that next Monday has the first Monday of the month, which I will be doing some bee stuff. So next week's live will be on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, right after Slightly Rednecked. All right, let's scroll on up, see who's here, and say hi and how you doing. Oh my goodness. Steve says, well, fancy me being first at everything this marvelous Monday. You were first last time too, right? Welcome, Steve. I hope you're doing well. Steve is a moderator. He's in Blue Little Wrench, and he has a lot of quail. All right. Verna's here, Vase Place, also moderator, Blue with a Little Wrench, and she raises things in her apartment setting. If you want to see that kind of thing, she has a channel and she does lives on Saturday mornings. All right. Verna's second like, believe it or not, Steve beat me tonight. He's like sleeping in or something. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Verna's asking Steve, did you see how high Ringo climbed in today's video? If you guys haven't seen that yet, Ringo just decided to just climb, climb, climb. Ringo is the kitty. And he decided that he was going to climb very, very high. So yeah. All right. Da-da-da. Okay, okay, I'm here. You guys are talking, PJ's here. Welcome, PJ. Hey, friends, she says. We have not talked about next month's Cook With Me Live. So PJ is a member. We're maybe talk about that later today. But right now, let me look at the calendar again. Right now, we were thinking about the 10th or the 17th for next month. Cook With Me Live, 10th or 17th. And those are the dates we're looking at. So if you are a member or if you want to be a member, let me know if either of those dates do not work. And then we'll decide on which one. All right. Desiree's here. Welcome, welcome. She says hi. I hope your birdies are doing good. Buster's here. Awesome. Hey to all. We'll be listening while at work. Hello, Buster. Hope you're doing good. All right. Everybody's saying hi. You got to manually restart it. Okay. It just started. Hopefully someone put it in the comments. All right. Uh-oh. Desiree got something yesterday. An animal. An animal different than what you have? I'm going to say puppy. Or guinea pig. Guinea pig. I do not have a hive yet, Verna. I am going to get into bees next spring. So that is my goal, is next spring get into bees. I am a part of the Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association, which meets monthly about an hour away from here. So I am educating myself. I have some education from just thinking and reading and all of that. And I have some education. Aaron from Gaydrose Family Farm. Let's see. It was a live chat. Let me find it. Here it is. So we did a live chat and Aaron was on here. We talked about bees. And so here is a link to that bee chat. I also took footage and hopefully it comes back when my drives come back to me after I lost a bunch of data. There's a guy in San Jose who it's his business, and he actually raises bees in other people's yards, and they pay him to do it, and he gets honey. So it's a pretty cool outfit he has going on. And so I spent a day with him, checking hives and stuff. So I spent a lot of time there, and then this local group here. So hopefully by the time I'm actually have bees, I know what I'm doing, and also I do have people around me that also know. So that'll be good if I have questions and stuff. So not yet, next year. Joy says, hello all from Western Oregon. Hello, Joy. Hope you're doing well. All right. Maureen's here. Welcome, welcome. Hello from Canada. Awesome. Welcome to the show. Oh, PJ didn't have a video yet. Had the day off and took Bruce on a date. That is so cute. I hope you guys had fun. That is good. Cook with me live. Are you a member to partake? Steve says. Yes, cook with me live. Become a member, and we do this every month, and we are looking at either the 10th or the 17th as the date for next month. Hydration. I mean, it's a good reminder. Okay. I'll bite. Is that what we needed? Okay. I don't know what that was in relation to, but it probably wasn't in relation to me drinking water. But thanks for the reminder. All right. Desiree's chick is doing well, and he's just a little special needs. All right. PJ says 10th or 17th works for her. Oh, rabbit is what Desiree got. Okay. Oh, 4 new animals. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We do have an announcement. I'm going to get through some of these comments first and go from there. 22nd is Verna's eldest daughter's birthday. Happy birthday to her. Oh, you got chickens? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Baby chicks that were on sale. You're going to need more room. I know you moved, but I don't know where you moved to, if you have a good yard or not. Hopefully you do, and hopefully you'll have fun with them. Ooh, PJ wants to know, what do you guys know about how to get rid of fire ants? I have never experienced this, so that's up to the chat. I've seen people pour molten metal down ant burrows and dig them out, but I think that was more to get the casting, not to eliminate them, although it would do that. I don't know. Do they react the same to the ant bait like Argentine ants? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Berna has a solution. You're going to put them on ignore. Oh, the hydration was locked in your clipboard? So it was accidental pasting? That's fine. Berna said boiling water. All right. Apparently there's fire ant poison, Anime says. Okay. All right, PJ said took Bruce to TSC. I don't know what TSC is. Tractor Supply something. No. I don't know what that is. Home Depot, then Walmart. Hey, that sounds good. That sounds good. You're getting bit now and your left foot is swollen. Welcome to the Carolinas. Oh, man. I don't know. I would ask local people. It is Tractor Supply. What's the C? Oh, company. Okay. Got it. I got it. And then I was like, I don't know what the C is. Okay. So my announcement is that I have made a playlist for quail in aviaries. And so that is now, before it was just in my quail playlist. Now I have specific for quail and aviaries. And so that is something that people have been asking for a long time. And Steve has been reminding me that I said I would do for a long time. it is done. So you can go check that out. And if you're looking at doing aviary, want to see the cute and cuddlies in there, wanting to see the broodiness factor, any of that is going to be in the aviary part. Um, those same videos are also still in the quail section, just quail in general. But yeah, aviary playlist, whoop whoop, Steve says. Yep, yep. So that is one announcement. And I have another one. So thank you to Steve for telling me that I need to do that over and over again. Thank you to Verna for putting up the playlist. The link there. So the link is right there. And I actually did contact the fence people to do the garden fence and the around the rabbit and chicken area fence. She did send me something. I have not looked at it yet. Sent it to me today. So my 2 things I was supposed to get done last week got done. Woohoo! That's not my announcement. I have another announcement. So I had created a course for raising quail in aviaries that Quail University had asked me to make. And it was briefly on their under their umbrella on their website, all of that. And that is going to be available again off of my website. I finally figured out how to get it on there. It's going to be a little different. It's going to look a little different. I am not hosting it on a platform. I'm not paying for a platform to host it on, any of that. It's literally going to be a protected Google Drive folder. So I'm going to be numbering them so you can watch them in order or what order I think it should be watched in. You can watch it in whatever order you want. And I will be uploading additional videos to that. It is different than what is in my aviary playlist for free on the YouTube. So that the YouTube one is free. This one is actually a course. It is the same material that was on the Quail University website and under their umbrella. But I'm not paying, I don't have to split the fee with Quail University, and I'm not paying to have it hosted on a place. So that means 2 things. It means I can lower my price from what it was, and it also means that it might take a while to get to you. So the way this is happening is you buy it off the website, my website, and I'll take you guys through that next week. It's not available yet. It's going to be available between now and next week. If you're anxious, you can check every day. But on Thursday, I will be putting out a video about this specifically. And at least by next Thursday, by next Thursday, it will be on the website and available to purchase. So it's going to be cheaper. I'm doing $25. $25 is something I think most people who are getting into this can either afford or save up for. It's a lot more reasonable than what it was for Quail University. But like I said, I don't have the extra cost of splitting the profits. I don't have the extra cost of the a website hosting it. What will happen is you will purchase it on my website, purchase it there. It will send, if you have it as a gift to someone, there's a place that you can put in their email so that I can send it to them. You need to put in your email in order to get access to this folder. So it's an email protected folder. So if you're giving it as a gift, make sure you have their email in there. And if you are doing it for you, then you can have it with your email. And what will happen is the product that you get is going to be a PDF that tells you about it. And I will get an email and I will be sending you an email with the link. So that's why I'm saying it's not going to be quite as smooth as what Quail University was, but once you have the link, you have it. And if you bought the program, if you bought the course under Quail University, I will be getting those emails from Linda, and I will be automatically emailing you that link so you have it again or still, um, because you already paid for it. So if you already paid for the course and you already had it, you will have it again. And I apologize for the big lag in time when that wasn't available, and unforeseen circumstances of Quill University disbanding. So that is my announcement. Between now and next week, Thursday, is my goal to get that up. I have everything I need. I just need to make sure everything is working. And yeah, so I think $25 is a good price. I will take you guys through that, how to get to it and all that next Thursday during the live. And for those people who may have tested it out, I know there's a few people that tested it out. Let people know how it was. I had pretty positive feedback, and so that's good. And then I will be adding stuff once I get quail again. I'll be adding stuff. So yeah, so that is my big news, and I'm excited about that because it's just been sitting there, and I've been so busy doing random things. I finally felt like I just needed to get it back online and all of that. Now, I'll be doing through that next week, next Thursday. So that'll be good. And I hope more people, want the course, think that's an affordable price and all of that. So yeah, so let's see what people say. Maureen was responding to PJ's ant question. Maybe try borax and sugar mix. Got rid of regular tiny and ant at my front door. Yeah, that would probably work. Steve says bait the ants first, then drench their home afterwards. Okay. Aviary playlist. Whoop whoop. Exactly. All right. Desiree said the Quail University website is so buggy on mobile. Okay. See, this one, you would have to be able to access Google Drive. So Google Drive, is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Google Doc. There you go. Google Docs. You'll be doing it on there. So you would have to be able to do that. I think everybody should be able to access that with a link. All right. PJ says, awesome. Verna says, sounds great to me. Awesome. Now when you start getting ready for quail, you can start the new course from building onward. Yeah. So I will be having slightly different content. I will be doing content for sure for my channel on that, and then I'll be doing more in-depth content on that for the course. And the course has the base for what I'm going to be doing and the reasoning and all that already. So yeah. All right. Maureen says, I want to breed rabbits for pet food. I'm thinking smaller size, 3 to 5 pounds. Would my Rex be a good choice? Looking for good temperament. Just wondering about meat to bone ratio. And Verna responded, I had Havana rabbits. They are smaller, but good small meat rabbits. Yeah, I think they would be fine. I don't have direct experience with Rexes, but I've always heard they're a good temperament, so I think that would be fine. I have my buck is a Black New Zealand, and my does are a cross between Black New Zealand and Californian. So those are the temperaments I've had, and I've heard people say that New Zealand has bad temperament, but I have not seen that to be true. So I would say whatever you do, choose your breeders that are ones that come up to you. I strongly believe that one of the characteristics you want in a breeder of anything is temperament. And If they don't have good temperament, you're not going to enjoy raising them. So if they have good temperament, you can go in and pet them and move them away and take the nest box out, all of that. And so having good temperament is going to save you stress later. So that's really the only thing. I don't know how big Rexes get. Mine get my adults are 10 pounds. But yeah. Havana rabbits. They're known for their fur is soft. But yeah, I think really any meat rabbit, which I think Rex is, any meat rabbit is going to be good for that because they grow fast. And then if it has, what's the giant one? Giant Flemish. If it has any Flemish giant in it, then I would not have that one because that has the bones grow really fast. So the amount of meat that are on the bones comes after the bones are made. So if you're growing them and processing them at a smaller size, what you're really doing is you're growing bones, which maybe what you want to do. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, says chicks are way more dramatic than quail chicks. I don't know. I've only had 3, so that's my number for chickens. I have lots for quail. Yeah. Tommy's here. Howdy, Earthlings. Tommy, you just missed my news. I have put together the playlist for quail aviary as a playlist standalone on my channel, and then I will be offering the raising quail in aviary course on my website starting sometime between now and next Thursday. And next Thursday I'll announce it, so you guys get to hear about it ahead of time. That is my announcements. All right, welcome. Steve wants to know from Maureen why a smaller breed. That's a good question. I mean, smaller breeds eat less. That could be. I don't know. Verna says Havanas are rather sweet rabbits. I only had one bad one. Havana rabbits are what they use to make cashmere rabbits. I don't know what cashmere rabbits is. I know what cashmere is. Joy says my bunnies are going to be 16 weeks old on Wednesday. One of them is over 8 pounds. Are you processing yet? I'll be processing late. You guys want to know why? Because I ordered a freezer a long time ago. It was supposed to come last Friday. They called me at 10 o'clock on Friday and said it's not coming. So I said, when is it coming? And they said the 8th of August. I said, the 8th of August is 2 weeks away. And can I have a loaner until then? I figure, okay, they can give me one that, fits in my car, or if it's, something that I can use so I can put these rabbits in the freezer. And the guy said, let me look. And he said, yeah, there's some comparable ones I can get you as a loaner. Okay, when will it arrive? And he said, yeah, we can get that for you. I said, okay, when will it get to me? Oh, let me look. August 8th. This guy, I argued with him for like 5 minutes. He did not understand why getting me a loaner on August 8th was not going to work when the actual unit I ordered was coming on August 8th. I asked for a manager because he was not understanding why that was not going to work. Not sure how long he's going to last in customer service. The manager said, oh, well, and she's like, yeah, it'll have to be August 8th. That's the only time we can do it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, well, is there any way to get it sooner? And then kind of when we were talking, she said, oh, it looks like it just came into the warehouse. So it was 1 day late. Okay. And it just got into the warehouse. Okay, so now I know it's an hour away in a warehouse. And I said, okay, well, can you talk to them and see if you can get a special delivery since it's late? And she said, yeah, I can do that. I'll be calling you Monday. Okay. So today I get a phone call from, I'm going to use the word, the idiot that thought it was okay to have a loaner arrive the same day the real one is arriving. And he said, hi, I'm calling to let you know that your freezer is coming on August 15th. I said, no, it's coming August 8th. And I talked with someone that said that she was going to try and get to me sooner. And he kept on arguing with me. And I said, is this the same person I talked with on Friday? He says, yes. I clarified further. Is this the same person that didn't understand that a loaner coming on the 8th and the unit coming on the 8th that I ordered, why that was an issue? And he said, yes. I said, I'd like to speak to a manager. You can't write this stuff. So finally, she had to call me back. Finally, talk with her. Apparently, I didn't authorize on the 8th, even though I said yes, but if I'd like to have it sooner, if possible. So because I didn't do that, apparently the truck is now full and they cannot accommodate mine. So the next time it's available is the 15th. And I said, I need compensation. I'm feeding my animals for 3 more weeks because of you. And she said, I will provide compensation. I'm going to be curious to see what that looks like. So there's my headache for the week, huh? Anyway, back to good things like raising quail and aviary courses. All right, and bunnies apparently. So yeah, Joy, I would process them if they are going to be processed. I would process them. If they are not going to be processed, then congratulations. Yeah, these are going to be big bunnies. So yeah, I will say 12 weeks, between 12 and 14 weeks is ideal for me. They are a bigger rabbit than what most people process at. Most people process between 10 and 12. 12, I think, is a good size. Around 14 weeks is when they start to sexually mature. You'll see when you skin them, you'll see the females start to have mammary tissue in the skin, and the males start to have larger parts at 14 weeks. So I am hoping that this is not going to be a problem. So yeah, plus after like week 13 about, I think, is when the skin starts getting more not the skin, there's the skin too, but the connective tissue starts to get more tough. And so I would really recommend doing it soon. Yes, Anime says Flemish take a long time to grow. Yep, they take a long time to grow, and during the first part of their growing, it's mostly bone. Yeah. Marine says, I heard that about New Zealand temperaments. Also, that was my first choice with the Californian. Yeah, mine, so the mom of my does and my current buck are Black New Zealand. Black is just the color. They're New Zealand. And both of them were sweethearts. Yeah, Tortellini loved her pets, all of that. Percy, he is a love bug. He comes up for kisses. And he's great. So I would focus on personality. Yeah, okay, you want them to be round when they get bunched up, have that round shape and all of that. But all of that aside, temperament is important. Tommy says, awesome. I'll keep it running tonight for you. What? Keep what running? Did I miss something? I may have missed something. All right. Desiree says we are trying them out for meat, seeing how that goes. Okay, so you just got a few. That's a good idea. Okay, Steve says Californian grows faster than Rex. Okay. I don't know. I've never had Rex. Um, Tommy says rabbit neophyte. So listening ears are on. Don't have any at the moment. Yeah. So tomorrow's video is a video on how I keep my feed for rabbits and also some tips for lifting and opening bags. So that's tomorrow's video. Joy says, I need to. I'm just procrastinating. I would do it, and I would do it. Verna or Steve, you can put the link up for setting up processing. I think if you look for process, that'll be it. It'll show you a couple different ways of setting up to process. I prefer the choke chain method by far. Yeah, do it. Yeah, and Verna says you can harvest their hides at that age for different uses. Yeah. Marine says, so I can feed a whole rabbit to my large breed dog. It will save me time if I don't have to cut it up. That'll work. I know when I've processed rabbits, right now, because I don't have a dog, I will. But right now, they're going to my neighbors for their dogs, and their dogs love the heads and feet. They love it. Like a head is dinner for them. So, yeah. Yeah, PJ, thank you. She says sorry you had to deal with that. I mean, I'm still dealing with it. I'm hoping they don't push it back again. The frustrating thing is that on Friday it arrived at the warehouse and they didn't honor the time. I understand they only come up here on Fridays, but at some point you can't wait 2 weeks, you know? At some point, and I told them, I said, you need to charter a truck. Period. You charter a truck at that point. Sorry. Anyway. Uh-oh. We got a storm over at Desiree. It's going to take dogs out. All right. Yeah, thank you, PJ. I hope it works out too. Right. So for instance, males also become harder to skin at that age. So a few years ago, I noticed, several years ago, I noticed it on rabbits and then confirmed it on quail, is that the male connective tissue is tougher than females. And so yeah, Joy, when you are skinning the male rabbits, like I can tell a difference between male and female just by when I cut around the ankles. Because and you pull that down because it's tighter than the females. But when you do that and you get that down, the calf area, you're gonna have to slice away more connective tissue along the calf area. Otherwise, you can rip it open when they get older. And then also when you skin right here on the sides, you just take your knife and cut through the connective tissue right there. Those are the two areas on the males specifically that can get a little tougher, a little stronger connective tissue. But definitely just take out that knife and slice right through it. So that's my recommendation. Yeah. Steve says, sorry that firm you're working with are idiots. I mean, undereducated. Also, sorry you live in a non-delivery area. They probably only offer limited delivery days. That's exactly it. They come on Fridays. And, I stated that, like, it is Friday right now. It is there. Why, Anyway. Yeah, it's Best Buy. I can name the place. It's Best Buy, and I'm a member of that because they do guarantee things and do come out to fix things. But it's an hour away. I mean, I was wanting like, hey, can you just get something off the floor at this point? You know, get a chest freezer at this point and pack it up here. Nope. Where it says pick your rabbits like you would your dog. Yeah, for your breeders. Yep. PJ says, so picking fresh strawberries, about a handful a day for my green stock. Awesome. I have not planted my green stalks. Some of my green stalks have big leaf maples growing in them, self-planted. Yeah. Yeah, I love green stalks for strawberries. I really, really love them for strawberries because it keeps them off the ground. They get watered, and the slugs hopefully don't climb them. If you want to protect them from slugs, you just put a copper band around the base, and slugs don't cross copper. They also don't cross cinnamon. Fun fact. Kind of pointless in a garden, but that's true. Also, ants don't ants don't cross cinnamon either. I don't know about fire ants, but I know about other ants. Thank you for the processing video link, Verna. That will be helpful to Joy, I think. And Verna says along the spine in male rabbits and quail. Yeah, the quail have a little bit right, like in the lower back area. So yeah. Hey, Ed's here. Hey, Ed. And she says, Ed, I hope you're doing well, and I hope Wendy's doing well, and I hope everybody's doing well. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, there's good things. So I'm gonna do my announcement again. I'm gonna do it several times. Sorry, guys. I do have a quail aviary playlist on YouTube now. And I also have my raising quail and aviary course that I did for Quail University is going to be on my available from my website, $25. Between now and next Thursday is my goal. I'll officially announce it on Thursday, but it'll be on the website at some point in between those times. So, yeah, there's my announcements. Steve's asking, is today a holiday? All right. So Ed said she went to bed. I'm doing okay, just holding this chair down and keeping YouTubers in business. Well, I appreciate it, Ed. Give her a big hug when you see her. Yeah. Joy says, I butchered many rabbits in the past. I used to work at a rabbit processing. Oh my gosh, you used to work at a rabbit processing plant? How fast did you do that? Yeah. That's amazing. So you don't even need me to tell you what to do. You've just been procrastinating to procrastinate. Which, hey, we all do it. We all do that. Yeah. So Verna put the quail aviary playlist up there. And it didn't take as long as I thought it would to do. If they had it set up differently, it would take less time, but they don't. There's a way that it's like select the videos to be in this playlist, and you put it up, and there's like only this many videos. I'm like, no, I want to go back to like 2000 to 2021. Can I go back to 2021? No? Well, I'm going to do it a different way. Yeah. Rabbit per hour. Oh, yeah. Joyce says I quit because I didn't like the way they were dispatched. I understand that. I don't know how the rabbitries do that, but maybe check out the video I did and see what you think about that. I'd be interested to hear your opinion on what you think the best way is, since you've done a lot. Maureen says, thank you everyone for the advice. I keep going back to New Zealand and California, and so that's why I think I'll look for my area. Yeah, I recommend them. I mean, I don't not recommend other things. It's just that's what I've had. But you do want to, in my opinion, you should have a relationship with your breeders. You should have a good relationship with them, not a they're going to fight me every time I go in. I mean, you want to be friends. You want them to be your pet. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's how I treat mine as pets. They come up for kisses and ear scratches and all sorts of stuff. So, um, yeah, yeah, that's good. Um, Good luck. I don't know what is generally available in Canada, if it's pretty much all the same breeds or not. Yeah, exactly, Verna. Breeders are your pets and litters go to freezer camp. Yep. Yeah. Um, and I know like my previous rabbits, well, the females actually died before they aged out. The first one that died of heat, and that was not fun. That was ZD. Second one died in childbirth. That was Meatball. That was very sad. Meatball was like the best mom ever. And all of the rabbits respond to their names, but she would be like, "Oh, me." She really responded to her name. And then Tortellini, which was both of their moms and the mom of all of my current does, she had a stroke. Um, but Parmesan is the buck, the daddy of my does. He was a Californian, and one of my friends actually took him. I need to text her. I just realized she texted me, and I did not text her. Um, but she took him, and he was a sweetheart over at her house. Um, Warning, word to the wise: if you do have a meat rabbit and you do give it to someone as a pet, they may have to be repotty trained, especially if they're male. Females tend to go in the same spot every time. That's their bathroom, whatever. They may change it up every once in a while, but for the most part, that's their bathroom. That's their bathroom. Males, they kind of have a bathroom, but they kind of poop everywhere. They may pee in one general area, but their poo goes everywhere. So because boys are gross. Yeah. Maureen says that's what I'd like to get. Nice to handle rabbits. Yep. Welcome back, Desiree. Yeah, and I really, really, really recommend that because you really don't want to deal with rabbits or other animals that can hurt you, that are able to hurt you, um, yeah, that are not nice. Something else that I recommend. I think I have a pair over here. Hold on, hold on. Do I? I may have something here. Yep. Okay. Oh, two different kinds. So my dad actually got these for gardening for me, and I got more, and I use them when I haven't the last couple times, but I use them when I move around the babies, and I also use them. I do use them when I process, and they're called farmer sleeves, and they're these sleeves. They're made out of recycled water bottles out of the ocean, I believe. And they have a little silicone thing on top here, and they're for gardening. For like, they'll do good with thorns that are small, like for like the spines on zucchini and stuff. They come up pretty high, and it's like that. And so they're scratch resistant. If you're gonna get into blackberries, it's not gonna protect you as much as you want it to. But I wear a large. Um, but they're good. I should actually reach out to them and see if they'll be a sponsor. Um, but yeah, they come in. I mean, this is purple. It's like a light purple. There's some that have fruit on them and flowers and all sorts of stuff. But I do recommend having that sort of thing, or at the very least, long sleeve shirts work great. Problem with long sleeve shirts is they are hot. And I get hot easy. So these are less hot, and they also give some sun protection. So There you go. Verna says, Maureen, personally, I would advise you to get them young so it is easier to get them used to being handled. Yes, or get them from someone that has already raised them that way. So Percy was already handled in that manner. And I got him, he wasn't fully grown yet. How old was he? I don't remember how old he was. 6 months or 7 months, I think, when I got him. And he did good. Um, and so yeah, he did good, and um, yeah, he's a love bug, but you do want to choose the ones with the good personalities. In fact, that's why ravioli is around. When I was wanting to save back one female, I wanted to save back one female, and I chose the biggest female out of a litter, which was rigatoni. And rigatoni was the biggest female by a good bit. Um, but I couldn't not save ravioli. Now, that can be a dangerous path. Only let it happen when it can happen. Um, and ravioli was the nicest. She would come up. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I need pets from you." And she was the only one out of that whole litter that acted like that. And it turns out that she's now bigger than Rigatoni, and both of their babies, are all the same size and all that. So it ended up being good. Um, yeah, yeah, Maureen. This is Farmer's Defense. I thought it was Farmer Sleeves. Apparently, it's Farmer Defense. Um, and they have all sorts of different. I think they're made in California. They're made in the United States. They have all different patterns and stuff, and good company. Yeah. Verna, you said you thought he was about 5 or 6 months. There's a video, I think it's like Welcome the New Buck or something like that, person, because we didn't have him named yet. You guys named him. So his name is Persimmon, Percy for short. And he came from a different rabbitry. And so his brothers that I could have chosen from, because she brought out three of them. The other two were spotted, and I really, really liked the spotted colors. And I kind of almost wish that I would have gone with them. They would be more interesting looking rabbits. But he was the one that was the most friendly. They were all very friendly, but he was the one that was most friendly. So I went with him. Yeah. Um, all right. Tommy says, too hot for being outside for 14-hour a day in any shirt here. I'm short shorts, boots, and big brim hat, cowboy hat, or safari hat. You got your Daisy Dukes on, huh? Oh my gosh. Your tan has covered your freckles? Can't see them? Oh my gosh. Well, use sunscreen or something, because I don't know. I am white or red. I have fair skin. All right. Steve put a link for a farmer's type sleeves at Walmart. So a different brand. Yeah. All right. Tony says, I'm the weirdo that wears nothing. I let the earth and sun do their thing while eating plenty of veg and having electrolytes and plenty of room temperature water. Cold will make you sick in the heat. All right. And thank you, Steve, for putting the Farmer's Defense link as well. They have hats and aprons and shirts and other stuff that I haven't tried. But yeah, my dad got me these, and then I was like, I like them. I want more. Yeah, but I do wear them when I process. I put these on first, and then I put gloves on. Some people process barehanded. I don't. Um, because if you put these over your gloves, this is a little slick for pulling. So, yeah. Oh, Verna put the new buck video up. You are on the link game today, lady. Tommy's just listing things now. Why are you listing things? Grapes, cucumbers, peppers, melons, loads of them. Is that what you have in your garden? I want to know what you guys have in your garden. Yes, thank you for the links. I finally planted my garden. So hopefully, what? Sorry, my computer just told me I need to plug it in. So I'm gonna go get the plug that I thought was plugged in already. Yeah, I planted my garden. That's probably gonna be Thursday's video. It's a little sad because some of the things that I was gonna plant didn't make it. I'll be right back. I had the computer on the front porch last night when I was doing the week in review video, and I forgot to plug stuff back in. So there I am. Yeah, I did ask you that. Thank you, Verna. Steve says Walmart says Farmer's Defense and has half price. Okay. So Farmer's Defense also they have sales too. So I check it out. But they do work. I do not expect them to work on real thorns, but zucchinis, prickles, and stuff like that. It definitely works. You don't want to get like tomato gunk on you. Yeah, that works. And they wash, put them in delicates, or you can rinse them out and let them air dry. They dry really quickly. All right. You eat a lot. Oh, to beat the sun issues. Okay. Ooh, Steve got the first tomato size of a little plum. That sounds good. And Vern has borage, nasturtium, mylar. Mylar? That's not right. What's it called? Not mylar. Anyway, the other spinach. And sweet potatoes. Okay. I love borage and nasturtiums. Malabar. Malabar is what you have. It has a B in it. Is that right? I could be wrong. I think you have Malabar spinach. It's the one that with the succulent leaves, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, it's not Mylar. Like, is there something missing here? Yeah. All right. Desiree has strawberries. They have red flowers. I've had strawberries with pink flowers before. My native strawberries here are delicious, and they are gone. I mean, the plants are still there. The flowers are no longer flowering. They're in early season. I know where a lot more are than I went at the time they were fruiting. Does that make sense? Yeah. Tell the freeze drying folks by their mistakes. What? I don't know. Oh, Mylar? Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. That works. You can get them with pink flowers. I've seen pink. I haven't seen red and then white. There might be like a cream or yellow. I haven't come across it, but there might be. Yeah, our native flower, our native strawberry is like that big and bigger than alpine strawberries, but smaller than any other kind. Yeah. So I told Verna that I needed to weed whip, and then I got into hot pink red. Okay, that's what I've seen. I told Verna that I needed to weed whip, and then I was like, I've had this box sitting here for months. I should probably open it. And I ended up not doing any weed whipping, but I am that far through this book because I finally open the box. So I'm learning all about using the scythe, and it is exciting. I'm ready to use it, but I need to make sure I read everything through so when I glue the handles on, they're in the right place. Yeah. Little tip there. Yeah. Um, Tommy says, I suck at growing strawberries, but probably too hot here. You can grow alpine strawberries, and they will be your earliest producing fruits, and then they won't produce the rest of the year. But alpine strawberries will grow where it's hot. They grew for me in Gilroy, but it'll be super early. Um, and and do that because I know it gets super hot there. But it got super hot in Gilroy too. But it's not always super hot where you are. So you should be able to grow them as long as they will stay alive throughout the year. Then that's your issue. Try them. Yeah. Why not? Goji berries should work for you there. And what's the other? What's that cherry? Somebody knows. It's more of a berry than a cherry, but it's a cherry. It's the kind of cherry that should grow for you too. Steve says practice with the scythe before you glue so you will know how comfortable it is for you to use. Just be careful. Exactly. Yeah, so that's what the instructions say. That's what the book says. It has really good instructions that come with it. And then I did get the book so I could, read through stuff. What I need to get is a peening hammer. The one they have at the local hardware store, which isn't very big. It's not flat all the way. It's flat and then it has parts that round. So I want to get one that's actually flat all the way across. Because for a scythe, you don't use a file like you do for a axe or something. You peen it, which means you're actually pounding the metal to make it thinner and thinner, and then you use a stone to wet it. It's WHETT, I think, which is really just using the stone, or this way, and you use the stone while you're in the field every so often to keep it sharp, and then when you need to, you do it again. So, is the sun coming in here? Not yet. Okay. I'll just say this. So I have a pocket knife here, and when you're sharpening something, you can see where something needs to be sharpened. If you face this, so it's like this is a sharp end, this is the back end. If you face that towards the sun, I don't think this light is bright enough to pretend to be a sun. I don't know. Not really, huh? You can actually see if you stand with the sun behind you and you look at it. So if you stand with the sun behind you and you look at the blade, you can see where it is in need of sharpening. If it glints and you're holding it straight on, if it glints, that means it's not straight to you. It means it's been flattened one way or the other, or dulled on one side more than the other. I'll be doing a video at some point about that. But that's just something to think about. Is for a knife, here's the back goes away from you, sharp point goes towards you, sun is behind you, and you'll see on the blade where it needs to be sharpened. And I like this one because it has a back release so that you don't accidentally do the front release and smash your hand. Anyway, carry a pocket knife with you guys. It makes for good demonstrations. Okay. Tommy says, that's funny. The running joke in Central Texas and Southern Texas is we only have 2 seasons, blazing heat of summer and February. Yeah, Oregon, it's summer, winter, and road construction. Those are the 3 seasons. Except for road construction's overlapping with a lot. Yeah, I think it's funny, road construction being a season. So this book has a pretty interesting, let's see if I can actually find it. I took a picture of it. Maybe I should look at it on my phone. This book has a pretty interesting, it's just interesting anyway, but it's a pretty interesting part in it that talks about the size of a land. And I will read, did I take it? I did take it. I want you to be sideways. Okay, I'm going to go like this. So this is from the Scythe book by David Tresemer. I'm just going to read this little bit. These measurements are relative to the type of acre being used. Our current acre contains 43,560 square feet, but the old Scottish acre was 1.27 of our acres. The old Irish acre was 1.62 acres. The old Cheshire acre was 2.12 acres, and several measurements from Eastern Europe measure 1.42 acres. Each one may originally have been related to the area mowed in a day. How cool is that? That an acre, the basis of an acre may have been the area that could be mowed in a day? I think that's pretty cool. I think it's very cool. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I liked it well enough that I took a picture and I sent it to a friend. But I thought that was really cool. I thought it was interesting, Verna. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah, I did not actually end up doing what I was going to do this weekend, but I got that done, and or I didn't get it done. I got part of it done, and I got some other things done. So yeah. Steve says if it's based on how much can be mowed, then instead of a third of an acre, I'm on a 6-acre plot. Well, there you go. That we just increased your land. Right. They're talking about mowing with a scythe, not with a lawnmower. That is true. That is true. The older you get, the larger property you have. I love it. I love it, Steve. That is awesome. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna do my quail commercial right here. We have quail aviary playlist is now available on the channel as its own playlist. And then between now and next Thursday, I will be putting up the course, Raising Quail and Aviary course, that was on Quail University is going to be available on my website. And my website, I'll put the link, the real link, like the actual direct link later once it's up. And there is my website. And yeah, and on Thursday, I'll take you guys through it on how to purchase that. If you're interested, it's going to be $25. So yeah. So yeah, that is my commercial break. So today, everything got finished for the drywall stuff, mudding, and texture. So now I need to wait a couple days before I paint, and I can thanks Steve for the link. I can prime and then paint. Ooh, somebody went on the website. That's the sound I hear. I also can be a sleuth and see who it is, but I'm not going to be. So yeah, prime, and then I can start painting So I am glad that is, for all intents and purposes, done. And I can maybe get flooring soon and unpack everything. Oh, it'll be so nice. It'll be so nice. Not be camping anymore. Yeah. So, all right. Maureen, do you have any more questions on rabbits? Because I have rabbits. A lot of people on here either had or have rabbits. So if we can answer more questions for you, then we definitely will. I highly recommend, if you have a place to pasture them, That's what I'm doing with my grow outs right now. And that might actually be what I do with my weekend, is make more tractors, which has to happen anyway. But now that I know it's going to be a long time before they get out on the pasture, because I have two litters in with mom still, I need to get them out. I may harvest 5 of them, because I have room for 5 of them in the freezer. I may harvest that was Rigatoni's litter, and wait on the other ones. That way I only have to make one tractor, which I started a long time ago. I also have videos starting of that, so I'll have to finish those videos when I make that. Maybe that'll be my goal for this week and this weekend. It really should be painting, but I really feel like that needs to happen. Yeah. As Desiree said, holding my chicks at the moment, getting them used to me. Now, Desiree, are you going to be able to process them? Or are they going to end up being pets? Because from this moment, since you said that you're going to see how it works with processing, you need to start thinking of them as food. Being friendly is good. And actually, petting rabbits and petting quail. Oh no, quail don't really like to be pet, except for one of my quail. Randomly, one of them, she would come up to her pets just like my chickens. She wanted scratchies. Maybe she was underbred. I don't know. But yeah. The sun's coming in. I wonder if it will show, if I can get it to show. Where are we? Right here? I don't know that you guys can see anything there, can you? My knife? I mean, this is a pretty sharp knife. It's too low. Anyway. Oh, it depends on your boyfriend, Desiree. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. And Steve says, well, if you got all roosters, you'll learn about processing soon enough. You got a little bit of shine, Verna? Yeah, it's hard for me to see, and I think it's still too low. If you look at it straight on, it shouldn't have any shine straight on, but if it's, yeah, I think it's like too bright. If it's shining and you're looking at it straight on, then that's where you need to sharpen. So, yeah, right in the middle of the curve, that would make sense. Yeah, I can kind of see a little bit. Could also be fuzz on there for being in my pocket. And to sharpen these, I use a hone or a stone. I've used both. I like to have the control of the angle. And it's another video that was on my thing, that my my external hard drive that got screwed up, was how to sharpen an axe is on there. Yeah. Hopefully I get it back soon. I don't know what soon is. Yeah. So anime, Desiree, you have birds. They poop. Of course you're going to get pooped on. And it does not It does not smell good. That's why they are called foul. I am convinced of this. Verna says, I love whetstones. Yep, comment if you're holding chickens, Desiree. Verna says. Yeah, it comes with the territory. Yeah, Desiree says it was a wet poop. Hopefully not too wet, but it could be wet. If it's too wet, you gotta start looking for pasty butt. And for those that don't know, fun fact, I don't know if it's fun. It's a fact. Chickens don't pee. Birds don't pee. There you go. That's why there's nitrogen in the poo. Yeah. Exactly, Brenna. Yep. So maybe someone learned something today. And if that's all you learn, maybe you should learn something else. Yeah. Yep. So I got a bid. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm gonna look at it probably tonight. I got a bid for the fencing for the garden and for the chickens. Once the chicken area is done, I need to put some sort of roof over it. I'm going to put some of that will be a roof over the rabbit area, which they already have their individual roofs anyway. And some of it will probably be either chicken wire or aviary netting to keep things like foxes out and hawks. And then I will let my girls out. They have sun. They're fine. They've been in this palace of a coop for a long time. But that palace of a coop is bigger than the space they had in the city. So they don't yet know what they've been missing. So yeah, I'll let them out once they're safe. And I'm one of these people that, you know what? I just don't want to have to close in chickens every day. If they are protected, they can go back in the coop by themselves. And if they are fully protected, then nothing will get in. And that is my hope. Yeah. So Brenda says rabbits have dry poop, and that is true. Rabbits, fun fact, I think it's fun. Rabbits have a first poop and a second poop. This first poop is called a cecotrope, and cecotropes are the first time through the digestive tract. I'm talking a lot about poop today. I realize I talked about poop at work today. So the closer you are to a carnivore, the shorter the digestive tract. The most carnivorous of the carnivores in my area are the cats. They're going to have a really short digestive tract, which means their poop stinks. And they also means that there is more nutrition in that to be had by other things. Ants, you'll see, flies, you'll see, all that. The good one, Steve. I know, where's Eric with this conversation? And the more herbivorous you are, not you. Your digestive tract is an omnivore digestive tract. The more the more herbivorous a species is, the longer the digestive tract. There are some species, however, like rabbits, that feel the need that their stuff has to go through their digestive tract twice. Yes, you heard that right. I need to actually do a video on this. I don't think I've done one. Have I? I've taken some video, and I haven't really taken enough video to make it like a point yet. If you see poops that are a little not round and hard, and they're more kind of clumpy together-y, or you see your rabbit getting a snack from its behind, this is normal. So Maureen, you're raising rabbits, you're new to rabbits. Tommy, you're new to rabbits. This is normal because they just need to process it again. You know, similar to cows burping up their food and chewing their cud and then going down again. It's just this one decided to go all the way through and then all the way through again. Wash, rinse, repeat. And what that does is it allows them to get all of the nutrients out, especially since they have a fibrous diet, so they can get everything out of that diet that they need to. And then the second time around, it will be a more solid poo. If your rabbits, on the other hand, are doing diarrhea, yep, that's what you truly call leftovers. If on the other hand your rabbits are having diarrhea, you need to figure out what the problem is and correct it. Because if you do not, I would start by adding, hay, or hay, so that they get more fiber. But if you don't correct that, they will not last long. They don't do well with dehydration. All right, let's see what we said. I could get coop doors that are automatic, but that would still let in and trap in things like foxes. Same with cuy. They not only taste like rabbit. I don't think they taste like rabbit, but they poop the same as rabbits. Yep. Okay. Anime says baby rabbits eat their mom's poop. Yep. Lots of things eat their mom's poops. Termites are not born with the ability to digest wood. That comes from eating some of the poo of an adult termite, which already has those. I think they're bacteria. It's either a bacteria or enzyme. I think it's a bacteria. And that's how they get inoculated. So yeah. And also, rabbits will eat their baby's poops because it keeps the area clean. When baby poops are like this big, they're teeny tiny, the little dots. And yes, she does. Yep. And so that does two things. It keeps the baby area clean. She also licks their bums to get things flowing. It keeps the area clean, but then also if they have been exposed to anything, she can make, antibodies if she has them. She can make antibodies to whatever her babies are going through, and give that back in the milk. So that information I am extrapolating from pronghorn known fact. This is an extrapolation. I figure I should put that warning in there. Warning? It's not a warning. That stipulation. So I think that's cool. I think it's a really good way for Mother Nature to deal with young animals' diseases, is to have the mom just have the antibody right there, and because it doesn't take long for an adult to make an antibody, especially if they've already been exposed to things. But a baby, it can take a while because they're not used to that hard work. Yeah. So we were talking about ecotropes. There are some animals that need that system to happen twice, and it's normal. That does not mean to let your dog eat cat food. That is not what I'm talking about at all. Oh, please don't do this. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited to have the raising quail and aviary course back. I will be getting. I need to ask Linda for people's emails that already paid for the course, so to make sure those people get the current access to the course, and then make sure that it's available to everyone that needs to be available to. And again, this is an email access, so you do have to have an email to get it, and you would be accessing Google Docs. And it is something you can give as a gift, because I will be manually doing an email with the link. I talked to Wix, who is my website people, and there wasn't a way to do it automatically. But I will be doing that manually, and then I manually have to put in their email to the accepted email file for the Google Docs. So that's the way it's happening. It's going to be a little bit slower process to get started, especially like if I'm on vacation or if I'm, you know, uh, out doing something else. So yeah. So, but it is a lot more affordable, $25, and um, I think it's going to be a good thing, and I hope people enjoy it. Yeah. Dog eating cat scat equals diarrhea. Dog eating cat food diarrhea. Yeah, just dogs should eat, dog food or bunnies or quail. Yeah. So, Maureen, if you're still on here, do you know how many rabbits you are anticipating getting? Because that's another thing to look at. My rabbits, my females are a cross between Californian and Black New Zealand, and they've had between, I would say, regularly between about 6 and 9, as their litter, with 6 being on the low end. This last batch um, that Rigatoni had, she had 9 and only 5 lived. There was one that was born super, super, super early before the rest of them that didn't make it. And then 5 of them lived. The rest of them were stillborn. And so, um, being able to have enough rabbits to keep your dog in food. I'm assuming maybe you might have other things as well, if you're having quail as well, or something else. I'm gonna move this down because the sun is coming. Um, then that would be a good thing to have if you have, multiple things going on. But then also, if you have, there we go. If you have more rabbits, you can have more of them, for more food. And just think about your numbers. This year, my rabbits have been very successful and had, living all the way up to 11. So I've had averages about 10 this year, which is a pretty good number for a litter. That's very good. Penne even had 12 and lost one, I think, 2 days in. But I mean, that's amazing to keep 11 um, alive all that time. So think about that. They do have a 30 to 31, 32-day gestation. And then I rebreed them when the babies are 3 weeks old. Some people do it quicker, some people do it a little later. Um, I rebreed them when their babies are 3 weeks old, and then um, once they're 3 weeks old, it'll be 30, basically 30, 31 days before the next batch. So I wean at 5 weeks. So I give mama, a little over a week to, somewhat dry off, get ready to have new babies and all of that. So that's how I do it. You can sit down with a calendar. I highly recommend you sitting down with a calendar and figuring out over time what that looks like. And you can either choose to, alternate some or breed every maybe you're breeding every week with a bunch of different ones, or maybe you're breeding every week in a row until your does are done, until you don't have, other does, and that way you're processing that way, or maybe you do 2 at a time. I prefer to have 2 does have babies at the same time, because the saying goes, 2 does is 1 doe and 1 doe is none. Because if something happens to a mama, you want to be able to potentially foster. Um, yeah. When I had the mama that died in childbirth, Meatball, she um, she was rebred, I think. I think. She didn't take one time, and so she was rebred, and she was the only one that had babies at that time. Her mom had babies that were 2 weeks. No, they were older than that. They were they were older, and I tried to get her mom to adopt them, and they were too old. I think if they were closer to the same age, she probably would have, but she didn't. So it's always good to breed two of them at once, or back to back, one day and the next day, and do that. So I highly recommend that, Maureen, that you watch. I have a rabbit playlist. You kind of have to be careful with naming those types of videos, but I have one that's called "What Is a Fall Off." I have one that's called "Rabbit Romance." Um, Rabbit Romance Carriage. I use basically a pet carrier to bring the female to the male. Always bring the female to the male. And I really like that method because when you're by yourself, like I am, you don't have anybody to open things for you, right? And if I'm holding the rabbit, one of those does show how I hold rabbits. If you're walking, a lot of people will scruff them and pick them up, and I just think that's way too much weight for a 10-pound rabbit to be scruffed. And yeah, personally, I don't do that. Some people do that and then tuck them under so that their feet are in the air. That's fine. I like to scruff them so their head's this way, scruff them here, and then bring their body towards me and flop them so they're thank you, Steve, so that their feet are on my belly. That way they're not going anywhere. But I also have my hands busy, so no one's, I can't. It's very difficult at that point to open up hutches. So what I do now, and I have done it that way, and it works. It's just not great. Um, and if maybe if your things are right next to each other, then that's another thing. But I like to keep the male a little bit further away so he doesn't spray the females all the time, because that can happen. Um, Steve and Verna are having a race. Steve has won. Thank you. Today is a holiday. I beat Verna, he says. Yeah, so knowing how to pick them up is good, but I really recommend using a carrier. And again, that's Rabbit Romance Carriage, I think is what I named it. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, at least on my channel, it's going to be named something silly like that because of YouTube's lack of want to support actual names of things, especially in the homesteading world. Like for the rabbits, these I call faucets. So yeah, I remember the first time I did a short that was like demonetized. The first time I got demonetized, I'm like, what the heck? And it was literally baby rabbits having their dinner from their mother. And it had the word nursing. It had that word in the title. And apparently that was a no-no. I'm like, are you serious? Because one, it's not a no-no. And two, what about doctoring? There are nurses in the world. That's not a bad word. Anyway, so I fought it and I won it, but it's like I don't get credit for all the people that saw it during the first, day, which is when people see shorts. And I need to do more shorts. I just went on a rant. Sorry, guys. Verna used a pet carrier when you moved rabbits to get ready for freezer camp. Yep, I do that too. Yep, I agree, Verna. Yeah, so I use a bigger pet carrier for that. I fit 4 to 5 rabbits in that pet carrier, and I turn it on end so that they fit on the bottom, but I can still reach down to the bottom. That's the key. And so I can take one out and then close the lid. I don't have to latch it. You just close it. And then do my processing. They can't see it. I prefer not to have the rabbits see each other. But yeah, that's the goal, is to make things easier, not make multiple trips. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if she's still on here or not, but hopefully, because that was For new rabbit people. Actually, Tommy's new to rabbits too. Yeah, Tommy, you have rabbit questions? We've kind of gone to rabbits. It is hot, and I don't know why the fan is not on. In fact, I'm going to investigate that. I think probably someone pulled a chain instead of doing the light switch. I'll be right back. I think that's exactly what happened. I don't know why people don't understand that. That if there's a switch on the wall, not to mess with the pull chains. All right. Tommy's listening but not active. All right. I can't see the crowns on StreamYard. I know there's crowns, right? Which way are we doing this? There we go. Yeah. So, hope everybody's doing good. I've been focused on certain things. Getting the Quail Aviary playlist out there was one of them that took a little bit of time. I don't remember how many are in it. Maybe I should look at that. Maybe I'll take you guys through that real quick. You guys okay with that? Let me see. Oh, but I don't want to go to mine. I want to go to YouTube. So how you guys will see it. Okay. Let's see if I can share my screen. All right, Marine's still on. Good. Hopefully she's listening. Okay, I am sharing my screen. Share my screen. Sow and Tare. Share. Okay, so when you go to my YouTube, this is what you see. Here's where you are right now. And on this, we have home video shorts live playlists. We go to playlists, and there are a bunch of playlists. This one right here is 39 videos, Quail Aviary. And if I go to it...
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking.
Ignore the ad. Over here, we have a whole bunch of different things. Talk about broodiness, talk about winter stuff. There's even my talk from 2023. Supplemental light, waterers, feeders, broodiness, losing feathers. All this here. How to sew hardware cloth. That, oh, did I have that on here? I don't know that that's on here. Hang on, I gotta see if it's on here. How to sew hardware cloth has been my most consistently watched video. Oh man, I gotta add it. I gotta add it. Because that's definitely something that belongs in here. Okay, it's not here, but I will add it. Where is unshare? Stop sharing. Stop sharing. Okay. So I will add that. Desiree just says is bird for some reason. Desiree, why are you saying bird? I'll add that right now while we're talking, if I can figure out how. And playlists. And I want to... I have to go to the actual one. Okay. So, hardware cloth. Yeah, how to sew hardware cloth is one that... Here we go. Quail Aviary. Done. Save. All right, that is added. How to sew hardware cloth is one of my videos that is the most It's not the most watched, but it's the most can I close it already? It's the most, what do I want to say? It's on my list of top things that are watched um from my channel. Like it's consistently watched. 9.3 thousand views. So that's pretty good for being on there for 3 years. It's just interesting because it's something that I almost didn't even record. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the building playlist, but it can be in multiple playlists, Steve. So I did just add that to it. Um, yeah. So you can put things in multiple playlists, and so that makes it depending on what you're looking for, it could be frustrating or helpful. Like if you're only looking for building things, it doesn't matter. If you're only looking for non-building things that aren't a part of aviary, then it's not. But hardware cloth is such a integral part of my aviary system. It belongs in the aviary playlist. Yeah. Desiree got hardware cloth. Need to start your bed frame cage soon. So you have a bed frame that you're going to use to make a cage? That's good. Are you not doing an aviary? You should do an aviary. Do you have room for an aviary? um, yeah, that's my recommendation. Aviary. Yep, I just asked tons of questions, Ezra. Yep does not answer all of them. I need to get an outdoor shade. They kind of a little bit ruined the shades that I had up there on the outside before, but they weren't that great. So I need to probably get new ones. Anybody have outdoor shade that is not like a burnable thing? Usually they're wood or bamboo or something like that. Anybody have any like, I don't even know how they would make it metal for outside on the screen porch? I do, Steve. He says Katrina pushes aviary like Verna pushes freeze drying. I do, exactly. Because it's the best way. It's the best way. That's why. Um, Desiree says, I do, but was going to make a little greenhouse coop one day. Awesome. Yeah, so that's what I plan to do is I plan to have a high tunnel, which again, order of operations here has not been completed. Um, I was going to make a high tunnel and um, when you have a greenhouse situation, I believe you're going to need shade cloth involved for at least the summer for your animals and probably good bit of ventilation. So that's my recommendation. Brenda says, Ed should be able to help you with that. Help me with what I say? What is Ed helping me with? I got lost, Verna. You'll have to bring me back. Um, shade cloth. I think he did the military shade cloth was a little different, I think, than what I would need. But I should talk with him, huh? Um, yeah, I think what he provided was like the camo one with the bigger stuff. I want to be able to grow trees in this as well, so it not quite that shady. Um, yeah, but I could do something inside in their area in that way. That's true. All right. I was talking to Aaron the other day with Guido's Family Farm, and how many people are going to the Gulf Coast convention this year? I'm not, but I encourage people to go. It sounds like a lot of fun. I've spent way too much money this year. um, Yeah, I know you can buy shade for your high tunnel. I was just stating that people using greenhouses are going to want some shade um, for if they're doing animals, and also for the stuff in the greenhouse. You can tell the sun went behind. I can see myself again. Um, High tunnels are greenhouses without climate control. Not true. They are high greenhouses. They can have climate control if you want them to, but they don't have to. Um, People put fans in the ends and do that way. Desiree says, gonna be a while though, since it's a big project. Just gonna make a chicken tractor coop for the time being, since I have everything I need for it. Good, good, good. Verna can't go. Steve says, I'm going and I got my tickets here. All right. All right. So Steve got his tickets for Gulf Coast Homesteading Convention. And that is in Louisiana, right? Yeah. Yeah, exhaust fans. Just some air movement. It's too far for Desiree. Yeah. It sounds like they're going to have a whole bunch of different things to talk about there, which sounds really interesting. I don't know that there is one of those types of things here in my area. The Heirloom Expo definitely was there. They're not having it this year um, due to kind of the financials of things. But hopefully they bring it back, and that's in California. And then I don't really know anything for West Coast stuff. And maybe I just don't know it yet. But um, yeah, yeah. Same here for Verna. It's too far away. Yeah, it's gonna be humid probably. Versus as you get things going, you could probably have West Coast QuilCon or Homesteading Con. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely be involved in that. I don't think I would be able to have that many people on my property. I mean, it's a big property, but it's not one that would support like a bunch of people. Um, Northern LA in Mount Hermon, LA. What is the name of the one there? Um, Los Angeles area is already where they've chosen to do the Heirloom Expo. It used to be Santa Rosa. I like the Santa Rosa one better. Um, but yeah, rent out the cabin. Yeah, but that's like how many people? It's not going to fit that many people. There's going to be a limit on people there. Put them on my pasture. Yeah, my pasture is not all that. Very little of it's very flat. Um, I mean, there could be an event, but parking would not be a thing. Have to hire someone to bus people back and forth from town. Oh, Louisiana. Okay, you were answering my previous question, not my current question. Okay. So the Gulf Coast homesteading is in Mount Hermon, Louisiana. Got it. Got it. Got it. I was like, Los Angeles. I don't think so. Not familiar with that one. Someone who lives closer to Louisiana would have understood it as it was meant to be understood, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, right now I need to get focused on getting established here and all of that. And I feel like I'm partially on my way. Um, a lot left to do. But my hope is by the end of this year, I will have everything, um, if not completed, kind of like the removing of trees over here might take a while, but hopefully I will have all of that timed and priced out is my goal by the end of the year. Hopefully it'll be done, but I doubt it will. So if I have everything priced out by the end of the year and planned out, then that would be good. All right, Verna says blessings all. Time for me to take Lucy out. Thank you for being here and moderating, Verna. And say hi to Lucy. Yeah. Yeah, so if there is something local, let me know. I mean, I know that the fairs and stuff come up, but that's not really what I'm talking about. Um, it'd be good to get something going that's a little bit, more incorporated, which would be good. I know there's a bee school that happens twice a year. I went to the first one. The next one is going to be, I don't know where there it is. The next one's going to be next month. I hope I put it on my calendar. Let me see if I did. Yes, B school is the 16th. I better make sure that's a one-day event because it might be a two-day event. If it's a two-day event, we're not doing the 17th for the Cook With Me Live. I better find that out. Yeah. But if you're anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a bee school on August the 16th in Central Point, which is down by Medford. So that's bees, and it's learning about bees, and has some good talks on bees and stuff like that. At least they had it at the first one. Yeah. Steve says, I was hoping you'd won those eggs on Aaron's live the other day. That would have pushed you a bit. It would have pushed me to make something temporary is what it would have done. I would not have been pushed that quickly to do what I want to do big because it's going to take time. But yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe a little bit. Okay, Desiree got a replacement egg turner yesterday. Good. Gonna try it out at some point. Well, start collecting eggs 7 days and then start it. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron streams. So Aaron with Guido's Family Farm, he does it's Saturdays at 4 my time. What is it his time? 6? Saturdays at 4 Pacific time at least. Which is why I often miss it because I'm doing stuff and then by the time I'm done doing stuff, I'm like, oh, well, I missed that. All right, Steve is reminding no live Monday the 4th. See ya on Thursday the 7th. Yep. And Steve, if you want to put Aaron's link on there from Saturday, you can go ahead. For Desiree. Yeah, so this coming Monday, we're not doing a live. We will be pushing that to Thursday. And so Steve, we need to know what time zone though, because it's 4 p.m. my time, Pacific time. I don't know what time zone he's in. It's two hours different, so that's Central time. So 6 p.m. Central, is that right? Anyway, yeah, so next week, no live chat. We are going to be doing it on Thursday instead. Thursday the 7th. And that is the date I'm going to officially announce the course being online. You guys know it because you came here and you know it first. And it will be on sometime between now and then. And if you keep checking, it will be there. Patience, please, as I go through this and start emailing people links to things. And yeah, and we'll go from there. And hopefully it gets smooth. All right, so Steve put that link there, anime. And yeah. And Central Time, the only time that matters? I don't think so. I do not know who this person is. New person. If you are actually looking into homesteading, say something that makes sense. How about that? Interesting name otherwise. So, uh, that's the plan. And yeah, if anybody has any more questions, we have a few minutes left. I don't recognize that. Okay, so Anime says I'm sub, but I've never gotten a notification from his channel. Okay, so something to check, and check for mine too. Um, go into your subscriptions and make sure it is turned on. Um, that you have the bell notification and you select all. Because if you don't do that, you're just subscribed and you're not going to get notified, and you'll be selecting everything. So everything that comes out, you'll get a notification for. Number, if you can say something that makes sense to let us know you're here for a reason and not to hack, as your name is weird and you haven't said anything homesteady yet. Let us know what you're growing, where you are, what you're growing. We have a few minutes left for questions, and yeah, so it is a good idea to check your subscriptions and to actually have a keep track of, if you start not seeing something, then that you might not be notified. You might have the notifications on right, and it might not be you that did it. YouTube sometimes just does it. He just undoes that, and I don't know why or how or anything like that. Um, all right. Anime says, when can I put my quail chicks with adults? How old are they? You can put them in at 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks is a good time because they don't yet have the adult hormones, and so the adults don't see them as a threat. As they grow up, they will have some pecking order disputes, but it won't be as bad. And they're 6 weeks. Okay, since they're 6 weeks old, and that means that their hormones are getting started. Their adult hormones are getting started. They're little teenagers running around. What? And you have them inside? Is that right? You have them inside right now, in a hutch inside. I think that's what you said. Let me know, and then I'll continue. Um, so in general, yeah, inside. Okay. So in general, when you put adults together, I do this with the young too. When you put adults together, you want to have them um, busy. You want to give them something to do. So, you may give them a bunch of mealworms or whatever treat they like, to keep them busy. Give them well more than what they need so they don't fight over it. Um, if I'm in an aviary, I'll fluff up the wood chips and they just go after everything in the wood chips and everybody's happy and gets along. The timing to do it is in the evening. So you want to do it right before it gets dark. So like right now, at my place right now, the sun is down, but it's still light. Now is a perfect time to do that. If you're inside, I would do it a little bit before you turn out lights. So you want them to be busy together, go to sleep, and wake up and say, I guess we're friends. That's what you want to happen. And I don't think I've ever had an issue with that. Um, I don't think I have. If I did, it might have just been one or something. But that's the way to do it, is to, number one, distract them. Number two, keep them busy. Number three, introduce in the evening time. And then when they wake up, they wake up. And always make sure, I mean, this is true anyway, but make sure they have enough food and water anyway. But to absolutely make sure they have enough food and water during that transition. And your little ones, I think you're not going to have a problem, Desiree, but for those that are moving them outside into an aviary or into a cage that has a different drinker. So you may have like a little drinker now that you fill up a little jar every day or whatever, and then they're going to a cup drinker or something like that. They'll figure it out because the adults are already in there and the adults already know how to drink. Same thing with the food. They'll figure out where the food is. So you can do it anytime in the evening. And when you have them go together, be there for that interaction in case something happens. I don't anticipate anything will, but it always could. So, yeah. So, that is the news. Got a couple minutes left if people want to ask questions. But yeah, I would do it. You can do it tonight before you go to bed. You know, if your light's still on. I know you're. Are you also Central Time? I think you're also Central Time. I don't remember where you moved though. So, all right. Um, yeah. So I hope everybody had a good time. I hope everybody's excited about quail and about the quail aviary playlist that I finally put together. And also that this course is coming out available at a much more manageable price, and realizing that it will be not on a platform. It's going to be on Google Docs. So it's going to be um, a little bit different. Hopefully it's still smooth, but a little bit different. If you buy it, you probably won't receive the link for, right away. It'll be when I'm able to get to the computer. I'm not going to be doing that kind of stuff on my phone. I'm going to do it directly from the computer, just because it makes sense to me. I'm not the tech genius that a lot of people are. Okay, Desiree's Eastern time. Okay. Still have no idea what the genders of my chicks are. Um, you have silver. You have silvers, right? Or silver Schofield? Is that right? Did I actually remember that? Um, there is boy or girl. That's what I'm looking up because you can't name things reasonably. Um, so where'd you guys go? There you are. So Desiree, boy or girl. Here is how to figure that out. It's a longer video. You can skip to the parts that you can see. But yeah, if you have the silver collection, silver Schofield collection, that's not going to be feather sexable. So you're going to want to look at it. You're going to want to look at the vent, and they're 6 weeks old, so you should be able to tell. Um, And if you have any questions and you know which ones are boys and girls for your adults, you can always check your boy and check your girl that are adults that you already know, and compare. So yeah. But there's a link that will help you with that. Okay, and Steve says you may not be able to vent sex them till 7 to 8 weeks, so be patient. Yeah, I've always been able to do it at 6, but I've never had that variety. So that color variety. Yeah. Yeah, so you should be able to do it, this week or within the next couple weeks. You should be able to see who's who, what's what, and go from there. And then also, if you have too many boys, you're either going to have to find more girls, or you're going to have to do something with them because they will overbreed the females. Yeah, so Steve says vent sexing with comparison is a great idea. Yep. Yep. And so since you already know what one is or what the other one is, looking is good. You tried to look, it's not really distinguishable. My breeders didn't mature till 8 weeks. So you might not be able to identify for a couple more weeks, and that's fine. One thing to watch for is males will crow. Females can crow, but they don't generally crow. So if you're seeing males crow and if you're seeing your 6 week old crow and you're seeing your 6 weeks olds mounting other ones, they are likely a boy, but that doesn't always mean they're a boy. So Again, while females can crow, they usually don't. And mounting can also be a dominance thing. So there you go. You haven't heard any crowing since that one day. Interesting. You might have girls. You might have girls. Wait until you see how many eggs there are. Anime says, I've tried to look. It's not really distinguishable. My breeders didn't sure. Oh, I just read that. Okay. Yeah. They're quiet except B. He might be a boy and the other ones might be girls, or that might be the dominant girl. So, hey, if they're all girls, and that's fine because you get more eggs if you're going to keep them. If not, then the females get bigger to eat. So, yeah, the females get bigger for sure. They grow faster. They get bigger. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am going to sign off here. Thank you guys for coming. And next Thursday, the 7th, is our next live chat. And happy busy boys don't crow. Don't crow as much. Yeah, that's true. He might be busy. Yeah. Okay, so he's vocal. It might be a he. You might have one he. Tell all the quail breeders that they'll be jealous that you got one boy and the rest girls. Um, all right, guys. Good talking with you guys tonight, and I will talk with you guys next week, Thursday. Tomorrow's video is going to be about how I keep the rabbit feed and some tips on some lifting and stuff like that. And we will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And good night.